Good evening. This is David Zakin here. Welcome to this special day. We want to present for you a few things today. Today it's the death anniversary of Rav Avraham azulai. Rabbi Avraham azulai is one of the Kabbalists that belong to the Kabbalah Center lineage, and we have the opportunity today to connect, to tap to his soul. I'm going to present for you a few things today, including some videos, some words about Rabbi Avraham azulai from the Rav Berg that passed away not long ago. And we're going to share a few things from Kerenberg, from the cave of Machpelah. And also we went and recorded some connection actual from the cave of Machpelah, so we'll be able to connect and tap into the energy of Rav Avraham azulai. So who he was, actually, we are asking ourselves, who was this special man? Avraham azulai is a famous Kabbalist that lived approximately in the year 1540, and he known to be a student of the Holy Ari from Tzfat. So we know that the Holy Ari from Tzfat is one of our best Kabbalists, being revealing and downgrading the light that came from the Zohar that was completely concealed and misunderstood. And Rabbi Chaim Vital, he was the one to put down all the writings of the Ari together. But the story was very special, because the story went in a way where Rabbi Chaim Vital, actually, when he died, even though Rabbi Avraham azulai, the one that we have anniversary for today, even though Rabbi Avraham azulai was his student, he decided to take with him and bury with him the writings of Rabbi Chaim Vital, of the Ari. And since then, for a while, the writings of the Ari were buried in Syria, where Rabbi Chaim Vital actually lived. And Rabbi Avraham azulai went specially to Syria and asked a special request from Rabbi Chaim Vital in a dream, in a question of a dream, so he'd be able to open up the grave and pull out the writings, so he can put them into order and be able to open and continue the most amazing wisdom of Kabbalah at that time. Because we know at the time of the Renaissance, there was big confusion. I mean, it's the time of Newton. It's the time when many different scientists and philosophers starting to take place. And what Rabbi Avraham azulai did in his books and his writing, in getting together all the writings of the Ari through Rabbi Chaim Vital, was able really to create the continuation and the lineage of Kabbalah. So we know about one of the biggest message of Rabbi Avraham azulai, that the Zohar must be coming to a place where it's actually opening to the public. And he said that from the year 1540 onward, the basic level of Kabbalah must be taught publicly to everyone, young and old. Only through Kabbalah will we forever eliminate the world, the destruction, and man immunity to his fellow man. So it means that in the different writings that he talks about the importance of studying from the deeper wisdom, because that's what resurrecting actually the body, that's what giving life to the body. And he explained, maybe I should read you a paragraph from his teaching, a small one, just to connect to his word, because we know that by using the word that he uses to write from, we actually able to tap to his soul. So I'm just going to read something, which a very short thing that I read. לבאר מעלת התורה על המצווה. I'm going to read it in Hebrew, just connect to the energy, and the idea is to connect to his soul, to tap to the light that he revealed throughout the universe. דע שיש שבח התעוררות התורה להתעוררות המצווה. כמה חלקים, והעניין כי התעוררות המצווה ישתתו בו החיצונים. והוא כי אם יעבור האדם עבירה ישקלו המצווה עם העבירה. והחיצוני המעורר את העבירה יעשה עיכוב למצווה היא. ואילו לא תעלה שם להתייחד על ידי המצווה. עבירה מחווה מצווה. So what he's saying here, that, we all about trying to better our actions, pretty much. We want to do more precepts, what we call. What is precepts is, bottom line, doing good deeds. It means positive things. It means actions of truth sharing, as less agenda as possible that we can have. Yeah. But it says that, we always have our other side. And what is our other side? Is the side that actually overruling the precepts. It means that we are doing what we call averot. Averot is like mistakes. It means that we actually passing over the law of the universe. Yeah? And it says that every time we do a good thing, it can turn off a bad thing that we did. And vice versa. Every time we do a bad thing, it's actually turning off positive things that we do. And we are like going on this balance between good and worse, and hopefully we're coming to a place in life that we're doing much more positive things than negative things. And then we're moving up the scale to a level where we can just grow and grow and grow. But it says that the moment you study the wisdom of Kabbalah, the moment you are reading a book, you're reading the Zohar, you're dwelling into the study, and you deepen into the study, it says that the light that's been revealed cannot be turned off by any of our mistakes later on. And that's why the Kabbalah is so important, especially now, because it says since 5,760 Kabbalistically, which means year 2000, we reached a place that we can turn the will towards the positive sides. And he calls it immortality. So immortality, if you notice in the year 2000, all the researches and all the science, all the different connection to understand the vitality of life and how to extend the life length of a person, how to clone, all the different operations that allow us to live better life and longer life, being actually came to a place when there was like a revolution in that year. And it says that when we talk about immortality and we talk about how we can live better living, more energetic, looking younger, all those secrets are available now, but not because doctors and scientists become so advanced. It becomes that energy in the world is already exists. But it's not just about our understanding of, now we're going to live forever, so what's going to happen in the world? It's going to be overpopulated now. The idea of immortality and what we call resurrection of the dead, it means more like resurrection of the body. Because we know like the body consciousness is the one that keeping us numb, that keeping us stuck, that keeping us passive constantly. And in order for us to revive it and to take control over it, we must awaken the soul. So there is a constant fight between the body and the soul. Unfortunately, the body is poisoned with what we call the snake. We know it's like the story of Adam and Eve and the snake. And we constantly carrying this DNA of the snake within us, the DNA of the venom within us, that causing us constantly not to choose life, not to choose giving, more to choose selfishness, and more to choose laziness and comfort. Yeah? So there is a constant fight. And here we understand that from year 2000, and he revealed it through the understanding of the mikveh, because the mikveh holding 40 seah, and 40 seah, it's a measurement that equals to 144 eggs. It's a measurement that has been used there. It means that if you collect in a pallet 144 eggs, it's equal 1 seah. And 40 times 144, it's equal 5,760. And we know that every time we are making a negative thing, a bad deed, what we call, a mistake, an avera, when we are passing the law, we are downloading immediately what we call 400 shells. 400 shells. And 400 also connected to death, 400 connected to the sum that Abraham bought from Ephron, the cave of Machpelah. There are many, many codes there. The number 40, the number 400 are engraved in the energy of the Torah all along. And it's a code of overcoming the 400 negative shells that we meant to be. And since the year 5,760, that equals to year 2000, we are capable in doing that. Why? Because the light of the Zohar is available. And as much as we're going to immune ourselves in the light of the Zohar, we're going to be capable to do those amazing things. So Rav Avraham azulai, he actually went and wrote his most amazing writings, which in the book Chesed leAvraham, Mercy to Abraham. I don't know if you can find it in English, but you can try to Google it. Mercy of Avraham. And he revealed many things. And what was the place that he wrote it down into? He wrote it down in the Gaza Strip, in the Gaza area. He used to live in Hebron, he used to live in Kiryat Arba. Later on, you're going to see more explanation about those things. And bottom line, he actually went into one of the most negative places in the world. As we know that Gaza, it's a place where there is a lot of difficulties, there is a lot of bloodshed constantly for a long time. For a long time, going back even to the time of the Bible. And he went and he wrote all these amazing writings because he knew that he's injecting light into the place of darkness. That one day someone will come and redeem the light that he awakened and create some peace in that area. So there was a strong connotation between Rabbi Avraham azulai to the cave of Machpelah. You're going to hear more about it now. I want to play for you a video. And after the video, I'm going to come back and share.
When a righteous person departs this world, the light they reveal remains. On the anniversary of their death, we can connect to that light and awaken their greatness in our own lives. 17th century Kabbalist Avraham azulai wrote many books on Kabbalah throughout his life, always emphasizing the right of every person to have access to the teachings of Kabbalah. His writings are of particular importance to us during this new millennium. In his book, The Mercy of Abraham, Rav Azulai writes, "From the year 2000 onward, the basic levels of Kabbalah must be taught to everyone, young and old. Only through Kabbalah will we forever eliminate war, destruction, and man's inhumanity to his fellow man." From his writings, we know that he identified this as a time when the study of Kabbalah would spread to all corners of the world, an era when death itself can be conquered and when immortality can be attained by all humanity.
This is going back about 400 years when Rabbi Avraham Azulai wrote this in his, as it will shortly say, in his introduction to his interpretation and commentary on the Zohar. He said, but nevertheless, in the time that we live, meaning some 400 years ago, that we are being told that now has come the time for the revelation of this wisdom. And so I go straight to his introduction that he had written to his commentary known as Or HaHamah, the light of the sun, on Zohar. When a person indulges in the letters, the reading, the study of Zohar, he reveals the light that actually almost reveals an entire universe that is brought about by the fact that this person is indulging in this study. When a person makes changes in his life, her life, improves, and constantly is making every effort and working on reaching higher levels of spirituality, nothing will be compared to bring about the removal of chaos as the fact of indulging in the reading of Zohar. And so we have much to be thankful for this individual. And as we know, that when we recognize the specific deeds that they have provided us with to improve our lives by discussing, by studying and reading from his writings, all will bring us the benefits of what his writings were intended for, and that is the ultimate removal of pain and suffering.
Good evening. We stand here in the Cave of Machpelah, which is the foundation not only of our faith but of all faiths, in front of Sarah, the mother literally of the world, and all of that which would come after her. This week we read of her passing, and the passing of Avraham, and tomorrow is Rabbi Avraham azulai, closer to our time. But I think what we need to take from this is each one of us has our own particular way of reaching Elohim. Each person inside of himself has their own direction, their own way of bringing closer themselves to the light of Hashem. But we can never forget that where our roots are. Meaning that even perhaps our parents or the people that are closest to us may not be what we want them to be, may not be in the same direction we are, may not agree with our ways or may not agree with how we are. We can never forget that because the environment around us has formed us to be able to become what we can today, we must treat every person, regardless of who they are, with respect and human dignity. I may not agree with the way my parents raised me, and I may not raise my children that way. But I can never respect that if they didn't form me, if my soul didn't choose to come into that body, then perhaps I would not be able to get to where I got today. And for that reason, I respect no matter where they are or where they're from. Salimenu had one son, and yet through that son generated generations after generations. Even in our time, no one really knows who that one light might be in the world that may change that face forever. Here in the cave of Machpelah, for the first time I saw a sign. Or someone told me about a sign. And it says that on Shabbat, here we wear white. Interesting where it came from. But we are changing the way the world views things. We are changing the way people look at religion, and we are changing the way people greet each other. And Ezrat Hashem, if we continue our work, if we do what we're supposed to do, not only will ourselves gain the respect of the world, but we will help the world to gain respect for itself. And if we can do that, we can finally bring Mashiach. Because Mashiach doesn't mean there'll be a few people in the world will have access to a Kodesh Baruch Hu. It means the world will have access to the knowledge, to the spirit, and to the love that each person needs to give to each other in order to make this place a better place. Have a wonderful evening.
The cave of Machpelah, where all our ancestors, all the patriarchs are there. Right now we are in the entrance to the Garden of Eden. I'm going to do a tour around the tunnel there, around the cave, around the site. But here you can meditate. We know that this is the place where all the prayers of all the people in the world must go through on the way to the Garden of Eden. And all the souls that are living the physical world are actually passing through this passage before they climbing up to the upper worlds. So I'm going to take you a tour. This is the site that is actually belongs most of the month to the Arabs, and only in special occasion it's get opened to visitors from the Jewish side. Some of you might visit with us here. This is the site of Rebecca, the wife of Isaac, and that's the tomb place of Isaac. That's the tomb place of Isaac, where we can connect to Isaac. You know, Isaac, a left column energy, which this portion we are dealing with Isaac right now, and Rebecca, his wife, this is here. And those two sides are usually not open for everyone, and it's a good opportunity for us to make a connection to them. I'm going to show you all the place here. See, it's used as a mosque during the day of the week, so not everyone has the ability to come in. This is what we've been through before. That's this dome, the small dome. That's where the entrance to the cave of Machpelah. So, you know, here we're connecting really to the seed level of all the patriarch, all those chariots that established for us all the learning and the connection to the Kabbalah. Also on the other side, on the Israeli side, we have the site of Abraham. This connection, because there is a strong connection of Rav Avraham azulai to this cave here, and just a few words about Rav Avraham azulai. He lived about 250 years, about 450 years ago, just after the leaving of the Holy Ari from Tzfat. He born and raised in Morocco, in the city of Fez, and then he immigrated to Israel and settled down in Jerusalem and then in Hebron. At that time, the Turkish Ottoman were actually in control over the land of Israel, And at that time, he had the opportunity to actually study together with Rabbi Chaim Vital, and together were able really to bring all the writings of the Ari, and that's the reason they have a strong connection to our lineage, to the lineage of bringing the wisdom down to our generation. They were organizing all the writings of the Ari, putting them in the right order, just for us in that time to be able to read and to study from those writings. So he was like one of the most amazing Kabbalists, very, very important, since he was able to reveal a lot of secrets. One of his top secrets is his book called Chesed LeAvraham, when he discussed a lot of matters, if it's talking about the immortality, if it's talking about the time after the year 2000, when we can reach already the light of immortality, the consciousness of immortality. And we know that everything changes now in terms of science, being able to clone, being able to give vitality and increase the life length of each person. And that's part of the physical process of bringing immortality to this world. So thanks to him and thanks to his secrets, we are capable really to bring the Messiah time, the redemption time. One famous story about Rabbi Avraham azulai is a story about one of the Ottoman, the Turkish emperor that used to rule here in Jerusalem, and he actually saw this cave here, and he wanted to check what is the story of this cave, and he threw his sword into the cave of Machpelah. Where I show you the entrance to the Garden of Eden, he threw his sword into it, and he asked a few of his soldiers to come and bring it up. But every soldier that he was sending, no one came back. It means that they didn't let them come back, since they couldn't see what's happening there, and they have to leave the war. They got dead actually. So he immediately made a decree on the Jewish people at the time in Hebron, and he said that if they won't bring his sword back, he's going to kill all the Jewish people that used to live at that time in Hebron. So Rabbi Avraham azulai came and said, listen, I'm willing to go and bring the sword for you. I just ask you, please release the decree upon the Jewish nation, and I will bring it back to you. And that's what he did. Rabbi Avraham azulai went down. He did all his Kabbalistic meditations, and he went down to the cave. And the story said that he actually brought the sword down back to the Sultan, and the story he told everyone was that he actually saw, when he went down, he saw Abraham, he saw Adam and Eve, and he communicated with them. And what he asked them, that if he's going to bring down the sword and save the people, if he's okay that he is going to be done with his correction in life, with his mission in life, and he can go and join Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, Rebecca, all the patriarchs, Jacob, Adam and Eve. After seeing them and experiencing all the light that was there, he just decided that that's what he wanted to do, and he wanted to come back. And a day later, he left the world, and he is buried actually very close by here to Hebron, in Hebron, on one of the mountains in the Jewish cemetery. And the connection to Rabbi Avraham azulai, it's pretty much our ability to define matter to go above the physical reality. He predicted that will come a time that we're going to be like about 7,000 people that will join together, and they're going to understand all the secrets of Kabbalah. And in the time of the redemption, they're going to be the one that were capable really to control the physical reality, and they will be even able to fly. That's what he shares in one of the books. So we're really looking forward to that kind of day that people will be able to defy gravity and to do those amazing things that the angels can do. So I wish you a happy anniversary. Of course, it's a good night to light a candle, to connect to his soul, to connect to his mission, and by that we can get an infusion from Rabbi Avraham azulai and be able to do a greater work in helping the world to get to a better place, a place where redemption is coming about and peace of earth will rule, and no more wars and no more judgments. I wish you all the